Vlog entry number 2.
This is vlog entry number 2.
For our first chapter, our first official chapter, the first thing we worked with was looking up like very, very old carvings. So we have things that range from 1800 BCE to 6000 BCE. That was backwards, but because of my drift, there's a span of almost 5,000 years. So.
So what we're going to do right now, we're going to put a piece up on the video.
We have a rock carving from Hällestad, Sweden. This is ranged somewhere between 1800 BCE all the way up to 500 BCE. This is a collage, essentially, of all these different parts of this rock.
What we thought it would aid in the cinematography was it would create this vibrancy, because there's a lot of lights and darks,
and that deep red, very
color. Deep red,
and
yeah.
like with the theme of the film being so, I guess, overtaking and light versus dark, and the dark side, the village of the bloodbath. So
the theme of the movie is good versus evil, light, dark. I mean, this coincides perfectly to what we're trying to go, like, as far as the aesthetic of the film.
So, we got this photo. The man who took this photo is Olof Ekström, and he took it in 2003. And I believe we found this off of a Google image search. But thank you, Olof, for taking this photo,
really,
because this has helped us tremendously.
And he will be compensated greatly when
the time comes.
Yes.
So one of the things we had an idea for was that taking the thick lines, the very thick, simple lines, and that dark red color, it'd be pretty easy to incorporate that into like a border design for like the Viking longhouses, which we go into later. Next, it is known as the Trundholm Sun Chariot.
This has been dated around 1800 BCE. Some believe that it was one of the first signs of Norse mythology and artwork. And this particular piece represents Sol, the sun goddess. And again, this is coming straight from Wikipedia, so we thank you guys for posting, and you're really helping us out. And seriously, this is awesome. So anyways, one thing that we found really interesting about this particular piece was this amazing, jaw-dropping, eye-catching gold piece that is representing
the gold plating.
The gold plating. I mean, it's beautiful. Anyone would love to have this in their house. Too bad it's going to be in our film. How do you think that we're going to utilize this, though?
So, some of the thematic elements. I can't speak. Some of the thematic elements from this would be the gold, the pop of that, in representing the ether, the sun, and what's above, because the film has so much to do with the gods and the afterlife that we kind of wanted to just give a little bit of that beauty and that shine on Earth to contrast that darkness of the blood red and the dark people. And so
it's like this. Our God's soul is looking down on the people.
Yeah, exactly. And then also just the style, the style of the metalwork itself. Obviously this is very old piece of work, and so it is deteriorated a lot, and it is beat up and chewed up, and it's been through hell and back. But there are still those elements of Norse art there, and so we have the way the sun looks, the way the horse looks, the way the chariot itself looks. And so, if we take those simple principles and how the elements of the actual piece relate to each other in terms of location, and in terms of size, and in terms of shape, we can take those elements and put them into our own art. So, one of the things I'd like to call attention to is the four-spoke design of the wheels. Little details like that matter. So when we take the four spokes, or if we take the size of the sun, clearly something stuck with the design of that horse through the ages in that part of the world.
I would say that it really struck you. I mean, you were the one that found this image, and you were the one that had this vision exactly where it was going to be placed in the film.
So I kind of imagine things like this, if not a replica of this itself. You know, lining the benches or a windowsill in the meat hall. I mean, just that, the meat hall is such a central location in this film for meetings and discussing what's going to happen and how they're going to deal with this statue being stolen, how they're going to get it back. And I'm not going to go too much into, you know, the story, but Skoldia, our hero, our protagonist, has this kind of epic speech that he gives in front of the king. And so
you'll be seeing
these things are just going to fill in the background and really help the audience get into this world. And so this is just an example of one of the more tangible things, not so much a painting or a carving, but a more three-dimensional object that we're going to have in our film here.
Yeah.
And then, as I had said before about the ships and the dragon heads, we have another image here that we also pulled from Wikipedia. This is just a modern representation of a Viking ship, and
you saw the blueprints earlier. Well, this is
a fleshed out version with all the details, and you see the shields lining the sides. You see all of the oars coming off for all those hard-working Vikings who make this ship run.
You can't really see as much detail as we'd like to in this image, but like we said, we're gonna be lining this with this knotwork
and that dragon head, man.
And that dragon head.
That dragon head.
And there's gonna be a lot of details. Like the average person probably wouldn't pick up on, but like I said, it's gonna be something that is just gonna be expected.
And now, composition-wise of this shot, this is more towards how things might look for the film. And
the blues and the muted colors, but then you have the red that's still very prevalent in the film's aesthetic, I guess.
And just you see how there's this open sky with this bright light shining down? That's just another sign of the gods looking down on man. And so this is the kind of shot, like Alex said, we don't have a DP for the film yet, but this is the kind of composition for a shot that we'll be looking for. I mean, the ship is center frame. There's a real contrast between the dark water down beneath them towards the bottom of the frame and that bright sky up top with the gods looking down. And you have this mountain,
the massive
mountain
vistas,
range. This is this big open vista.
Probably still be shot in a soundstage, believe it or not.
Green screen.
Yeah.
Best thing on earth.
Yeah.
Another thing I'd like to point out is the curvature of the ship and how if you follow the dragon head up, it almost points to the heavens. And so just everything compositionally about the shot, you know, even the diagonal of that line going from the man near the front of the ship and just beneath the dragon head up to the top of the
bow.
The mast,
the mast, yes.
The mast, the big sail.
The sail.
The top of the sail. I don't know boats. Even that diagonal line, even that leads you up to the heavens. And then the you know, just the white of the mountain itself to the left of the frame catches my eye, which brings me to both the heavens and down to the dark blue into the black. And it's just everything about this image brings me up and then back down. And so in terms of a shot, if we can get something that looks like this for the movie, it's going to be great.
Yeah.
It's going to be great. So so those were some examples of the beginning stuff, the carvings and the metalwork.
Chapter 1 is going over the base, the
base.
groundwork, the base work, yeah. And so yeah, I mean, I don't have anything more to say about this.
I think this
concludes
chapter
1. I hope you guys have enjoyed, and look for Ragnarock IMDb at 2016.
Absolutely.
Right.
See you next time.
See you next time.